This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report and whatnot. What up, Sped Rock? Thank you for coming in and whatnot. Boy, Sped Rock, we are part of the whole Run and Wrestling podcast and whatnot. And thank you for showing up here. So look what we're looking at right now as far as the title of this podcast and what we're going to be talking about. Honestly, WWE messed up War Games for me forever. And I'm going to say that for the simple fact that War Games, as far as especially the men's War Games, that I will never watch another WWE War Games ever again. And I'm going to get into it why I'm saying that. The ending sucked and whatnot. WWE tried to play with people's mind, talking about making it look like Seth Rollins was doing another ruse like they did this past summer. They tried to insult people's intelligence. Now, I don't like coming in here and try to, bash WWE. That's not what I'm doing. Like I say, it says an honest review and whatnot. And it's an honest review for the simple fact that Survivor Series is one of the best, one of the best shows that they have and whatnot. It's one of the top 4 shows that they have. They got Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Now, the last couple of years, they have put the War Games as part of the Survivor Series, which makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? It's called Survivor Series. You survive the War Games. Before, it was the 5-on-5 when we were growing up and whatnot. And it was more of, can you survive the only one standing for your team? Sometimes it was a 5-on-1. And it was entertaining because you were like, oh, this guy got to beat the odds. He's got to stay there versus 1-on-3 or 1-on-5, depending what it was, right? So this year's Survivor Series was probably the most lamest and the most worst War Games or Survivor Series we've seen in Triple H era and whatnot. And I'm going to say that because it's the fact. You know what I'm saying? Now, I knew they were going to start off with the women's War Games. Now, before even the podcast, or not the podcast, the show, the PLE started, I went to Twitter and said, this better top Blood and Guts, okay? Because, this is War Games, But I already know that WWE don't do a lot of the coloring. They're not going to bring a lot of crazy weapons and whatnot, like we saw the women's Blood and Guts and whatnot. And to be honest, the men's Blood and Guts and the men and women's Blood and Guts were 2 times better, all right? 2 times better. Actually, 5 times better than this War Games. You was not going to see the females do what the ladies from AEW was going to do. And as you're right, Spad, no chance of topping Blood and Guts and whatnot. So, but I gave it the benefit of the doubt for the simple fact I felt maybe WWE is going to go say, you know what? We're going to top this because this is War Games. Now, War Games, and I said this to the Family Circle debate because they was having a watch-along last night. The War Games back in 87, when it first started, a Dusty Rhodes, masterpiece, I call it. Those War Games, they didn't have a lot of weapons. Actually, they didn't have no weapon. It was just in the ring, 5 minutes into crumbs. There were guys outside the ring. If you guys remember, there was no entrance. There was no ring entrance. There was no music. None of that back then. It was these guys, one side of the ring, and the other group on the other side of the ring, and they will go in. I think the only time I saw a weapon in the ring was when the Road Warriors took out one of the spikes from their jacket and stuck it in J.J. Dillon's eye and made him and made them quit. Okay, that's how far I go. Okay, but these war games kind of it was just horrendous. It was horrendous. It was like there was no storyline, especially the woman's one. Because it looks to me like they just put a bunch of women and whatnot in the ring together for no apparent reason and whatnot, and put them in the ring to go at it and whatnot, and to go with no really big storyline. Now they put uh, the young lady legend, whatever her name is, to team up with Nia Jax. They look like a dominant tag team, but you knew something was going to happen with this. First of all, the fact that Io Sky brought in a garbage can. Io Sky brought a garbage can, and that shit barely fit in the damn ring and whatnot. And it's like you see this girl bringing in a garbage can, and nobody's reacting to it. I mean, I believe Nia, somebody was near the door, and they're just letting this woman bring in the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, as far as Last Legend, that's the name. Last was made to look good though. The only good takeaway from that match. She was made to look good, but first of all, why is she even in the cage? Why is she even in a war game? You know what I'm saying? She just was brought up a couple of weeks ago to the main roster. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. So my thing is, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy because look, he says Last was made to look good though. The only good takeaway from that match, and it's true. She looked dominant. She looked very dominant in that match. You know what I'm saying? And they got her teaming up with Boss Queen. You know what I'm saying? Nia Jax and whatnot. And keep it saying worst war games ever. Listen, these war games were disappointing. Okay. Especially the fact, first of all, the ending of the war games, the fact why everybody got together to beat up Becky Lynch when Becky Lynch was at it the last minute of that match. You know what I'm saying? The last minute of that match. And it didn't make no sense. Why was AJ Lee added to this? If you're gonna have AJ Lee put a submission move on Becky Lynch and make her submit, shouldn't she be the one instead of Maxie Dupree beat Becky Lynch for the IC title? This shit did not make no damn sense. But that goes to show you. It goes to show you how WWE works, because what they do is they're giving you anything, whatever they want. If you don't like it, they call you a fake fan. Because that's what happened. They put these 5 women together. Okay. Now, Rhea Ripley's mask, I mean, a lot of people were like, it looks stupid. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely liked it. It looked it matched next to her, right? So to me, you had all these ladies going at it, with the ending with having Becky Lynch get beat up by all 5 of these chicks, then have AJ Lee make her submit. So it's like they doing shit right now to lead to what? I don't want to see AJ Lee against Becky Lynch now, because there's nothing involved in it that's gonna make me say, "Oh, yeah, I want to watch that match," because there's nothing on the line. There's nothing on the line. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make no sense to me at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's just I don't know. To me, I was saying to myself, you know what? I want to give this more time. I wanted to give it more time because I said maybe I went in it with an open mind. But this woman war games was mid. Just like MJF said, it's mid. And I know a lot of WWE fans who want to watch my show or watches my podcast. I'm gonna say that I'm taking shots at WWE. The damn thing says it's an honest review. It's an honest review. I don't take shots at company and being into tribalism, because that is not me. I'm telling you what I saw. And I went in here to watch this pay-per-view with the thought that they were going to go at least be at the same level of blood and guts or a little higher. And it disappointed me. And the funny thing, when it came to the war games, right? This time, the war games were reversed. The results were reversed. And blood and guts, they had the females, babyface had the advantage. which is WWE did the same thing in this match. Well, the only difference was that the babyface won. At the Blood and Guts, the heels won. So I'm gonna get to the men's one, which is gonna be at a better than that. So spread says hold on 1 second. Who that? Spread said it was not $30 a month. Was not $30 a month. The PLE, it's probably more. I don't know. I mean, listen, it's they charging too much money as far as when it comes to these shows. It's too much money. Let's be realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. So the fact that, again, people they claimed there was 47,000 people at the stadium, which I believe it because it looked packed. But and he said the show was not worth the money. It's not. I mean, do you think I want to pay $30? I'm not paying no $30. No, I'm not going to ask you how I saw it, but I saw it. You know what I'm saying? I saw the show. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. It is not worth it. And then people complain about how AEW shows are long. You know what I'm saying? The shows are long for AEW, but they're entertaining. They're worth the money. And then we only pay $50. So that's the difference there. You know what I'm saying? But again, we're not, I'm not talking about the pay-per-views, how much is worth it. And I mean, I understand what you're saying, that we put in our hard-earned money to watch these shows, and this is what they're giving us. They're giving us bullcrap. We're not. You know what I'm saying? Mad bullcrap. So then after this War Games, we had what we expected. And it was the John Cena versus Dominick Mysterio. I already knew that Dominic was gonna win the title. I mean, it was gonna happen. But it was the way he won the belt. Now, Dominic comes out with Raquel and Roxanne Perez, members of the Judgment Day, right? So at one point, it looks like Dominic hurt his shoulder in the match and whatnot. And you could tell that this match, you could tell that Dominic carried John Cena because John Cena has slowed down a lot. He's not the same John Cena that was before. You know what I'm saying? He's not the cat that you thought that, he come do comebacks. Even though I was never a big time John Cena fan. I was a John Cena fan when he used to come in with a different, jerseys. That's how I got hooked into jerseys and whatnot. But in this match, it's like something told me that Dominic was going to win the belt. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We knew now that John Cena was not going to lose his belt at the end of the tournament because to me, I'm saying it right now. The one who's going to win that tournament is going to be Gunther. Gunther's going to send John Cena to retire. We know that for a fact. What up, OPC? What's going on? Shout out to the Circle of Debate. And when the guys check them out, they're always online every day. Mostly every day with watch-alongs. I think they on 7 days a week. So much love to Circle Debate and whatnot. But getting back to this whole Dominic thing, once I saw that Dominic was getting this title shot, I said Dominic's getting the belt back. They just gave John Cena the belt just to say, hey, he's a Grand Slam champion. This is the only belt he never had. You know what I'm saying? So now I say, well, he's gonna win. But I did not like how this match, even though this was the best match of the night, there was too many outside interference. You had Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez go into that ring and attack John Cena while Dominic acting like he had a shoulder injury. Okay. Now, Roxanne Perez did the pop rock on John Cena. You could tell that John Cena had to throw himself backwards because there was no way that Roxanne Perez was going to do the pop rock. That girl's probably weighing like 120, 125, and she ain't got that much of a strength. So I said, okay, next thing you know, they get thrown out. Then we have more Judgment Day guys. Yeah, McDonough and Finn Balor come out and attack John Cena. Cena then goes and does a double attitude adjustment to both of them and whatnot. Then out of nowhere, we saw Liv Morgan showed up. Right now, we knew. I mean, when Liv Morgan hit Dominic, I said to myself, she's gonna turn on John Cena. I saw that in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And it happened. She kicked John Cena in the balls, and she ended up helping Dominick Mysterio win his second Intercontinental title and become a two-time champion, two belt champion. Now, that was one of the best matches of the night. I just felt there was too many interference and whatnot. But I think OPC, we've spoken about this in Circle Debate. Where they're going to go now with this whole Judgment Day? Are they going to kill this Judgment Day already? Now that Liv Morgan is back, are we going to see Roxanne Perez feud with Liv Morgan? Okay, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about how John Cena has been treated at this whole retirement tour and how they had dropped the ball. Triple H and WWE has dropped the ball on this man. They made him a heel, and his promo as a heel was horrible from the beginning. Okay, he becomes fan favorite out of nowhere. They're still treating him like shit. They have Brock Lesnar destroy him at WrestlePalooza. He wins the Intercontinental belt, and then he gets beaten by Dominick Mysterio and a bunch of women. Now you're gonna say, "Oh, but that was part of it." It don't matter. The way they had booked him is being so disrespectful that it's not even funny. Okay, it's been very disrespectful. This man, even though I don't agree that he's a 17th-time world champion, he still deserves that much respect for the simple fact that this man carried WWE for many years, even after it was only WWE out here. Okay, he was the one who came up with the United States title challenge and whatnot. He's still getting disrespected as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Now he got only one match left. And his last PLE, they made him look foolish. A bunch of women got involved in this match. Besides, let's not talk about Finn Balor and Ryan McDonough coming in. It's just ridiculous. Let me see here what it's saying. Alex says, in the minor, John Cena hero was great. John should not win every single match this year. Well, do you really think that heel run that he had was great? I don't think it was great. The way he was set up as being a heel, I like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the whole thing with the Rock turning, whatever. But here's the problem: what made him look kind of foolish, and people were pissed off, and people were just booing him. First of all, when they did this in the Elimination Chamber, I liked the whole thing because I thought it was going to be some Hollywood, Illuminati shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he's in Hollywood now with The Rock. But the fact that The Rock did not show up at WrestleMania, and he had that match with Cody Rhodes and whatnot, and it ended horrible, that's what messed it up. That's what messed it up. You know what I'm saying? And then to top it off, then after that, his heel runs was always like cheating, hitting, but then it just didn't. But then for him to turn babyface, his second time he wrestled Cody Rhodes, didn't make no sense. They had dropped the ball on him. This man deserves better than that. You know what I'm saying? Now with him now, you know what I'm saying? Somebody went and went as far as to compare it to the Sting retirement in AEW. Sting didn't want to retire as an AEW tag team champion. But Tony Khan, was like, no, you should win as a champion. So he retired as a champion, not a world champion as far as singles, but he was a world champion tag team along with Darby. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they're not doing this for John Cena, it's just mind-boggling. It's just a mind-boggling thing. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make any sense to me what they did there. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't. I don't know. I don't know how. Chokes him to sleep and whatever. Let me put him. Give me a second here. And so Alex says he predicts Gunther chokes him to sleep in his final match. Yeah, I see that happening. It's gonna be Gunther's gonna get an attitude adjustment. I'll tell you that much. He will be getting an attitude adjustment, but that's not gonna be enough to beat him. That is not gonna be enough to beat him. Now, another match that I kept seeing online and it was the Stephanie Vaquer and the Nikki Bella. Now, I saw a lot of these chicks that you could tell a lot of these females don't know nothing about wrestling. They still stuck in the diva era, who still, and then Bella Army, who was saying no, Nikki Bella is going to be Stephanie Vaquer. Now, I was one saying there's no freaking way that this woman, Stephanie Vaquer, I mean, I put the wrong one with the NXT title, but it should have had the world title anyway. What up, Justin? What's going on, my guy? So I saw Stephanie Vaquer, and I'm like, there's no freaking way that Stephanie Vaquer is going to lose to Nikki Bella. The reason I say that, because listen, and I know a lot of people, say, no, Nikki Bella wrestles good. Nikki Bella can't wrestle a broom. Okay, that match last night, it was like watching her in slow motion action. Okay, slow mo and whatnot. And yes, it kind of like she attacked Stephanie Vaquer in the beginning of the match, and she was in control, whatever, and whatnot. I think at one point she tried to do the devil's kiss at one point and whatnot. And I felt like, I'm like, well, she's not going to win the title. There's no way in the world. You know what I'm saying? And Stephanie Vaquer came back, did her thing. And everybody was talking about, Brie is coming to WWE. And I knew Brie is not coming because Brie has said it already. And the reason that she has not gotten a job in WWE is because Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson is in AEW. So she's not going to get a job there. Okay? That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And like Justin says right now, the good thing that came out of this match was they didn't do the twin magic nonsense with Nikki. You're right, Justin. Definitely right. Right? So everybody's talking about, that she should have won and blase. She deserves it. No, she don't. Okay? The only reason this woman's back in wrestling is because she owns money. Okay? She owes money to her husband, her ex-husband, in a divorce case, whatever the case may be. Okay? So she's back talking about she wants to take over the division, that she owns the division. It's you own what? You never owned nothing when you was the Divas champion back in the day. You know what I'm saying? The only reason she's on the Hall of Fame, it's not because of her wrestling skills. And people got to understand, I got into it with somebody on Twitter that he's like, if WWE's bringing her back, she's in the Hall of Fame. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why she's in the Hall of Fame. It's not for her wrestling skills. She's in the Hall of Fame for the simple fact because she did a lot of charity and was like the face or the ambassador of WWE in those years. So they weren't very known, but you could see, I remember when AJ Lee just blew their spot up talking about giant real wrestlers, y'all a bunch of wanna Barbie dolls who want to be in reality shows. Okay. And why not? Instead, she comes back. She didn't come back because she wants to really help the division. She's back because she needs money. She's not because she wants to help the division. I mean, you could tell she's just her attitude. She's always complaining about something. She complaining about, it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, let's be realistic. And I'm going to say this right now. And let me see if my people agree with me. The woman came back. She gets a shot at the Intercontinental title. She didn't beat nobody to get that shot, right? Then it happens again. She attached Stephanie Vaquer to get a world title shot. So she goes from Intercontinental title shot to a world title shot. How does that shit make sense? She didn't beat nobody to get a world title shot. And I was like, yo, if Nikki Bella ends up beating Stephanie Vaquer, who's a world-renowned woman with wrestling class, who's been in the fucking business for God knows how long, and beat her for this title, I'm going to be pissed. For the simple fact that WWE is with their bullshit nostalgia and putting people who can wrestle as champions. You want me to give you a good example of that? Okay, Jay Cargill. Yes, I said it. The only reason Jay Cargill has that belt is because they wanted to take it away from Tiffany Stratton. And not only that, they're making Jay Cargill look like the next female version of Goldberg. You notice she can't stay more than 5 minutes in the ring. Okay. Let me see what Justin says right here. It says I was all for giving Nikki a shot to see how she fared with today's crop of talent, but from what we've seen so far, it hasn't been close to good. You're right. Her wrestling match last night was slow motion. You know what I'm saying? It was like right now, if I'm talking to you and you hear me go, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see this woman again. And again, I'm going to keep saying it. Why is she getting title shots? She hasn't beaten anybody. She has not beaten anybody that that we could say, oh, okay, she deserves it. But she don't. She don't deserve no title shot. You bugging. Hell no. Now, to the main event, if we could say that. Okay. We go to the main event, guys, and there's kabah, this match. The men's war games. Now, the men's war game, this one, again, like I said earlier, and I said this on my Twitter last night. Just when you think WWE is not watching AEW, it's a lie. Because, again, the results of the war games were reversed to blood and guts. Okay? The only thing that was the same was the woman getting the advantage. Okay? Which is stupid because usually the heel should be having the advantage, not the babyface, which makes no sense. And this match, in blood and guts for the men, in the babyface one, and this one, the war games, was the heel one. But here's the way they ended up finishing this: that even toward the end of the show, you hear people booing. It was the fact, number one, the fact that you had somebody climb over the cage, okay, go and curb stomp CM Punk and whatnot to make it look like that was Seth Rollins. WWE tried to pull the card of, oh, well, let's do the rules that we did over the summer with Seth Rollins, when we all know Seth Rollins is out indefinitely. Now, a couple of weeks ago, they were talking about after Seth Rollins got kicked out of the Vision, and supposedly, he was going to get his surgery, that Austin Theory was going to be the next guy to join the Vision. But because they claim now that none of these competitors that were in here last night would have not been part of the War Games and whatnot. So now Austin Theory wasn't able to be part of the Vision because now they changed everything around. Okay, they added Logan Paul in it. They added Drew McIntyre, and they needed like two more other guys in there. Brock Lesnar. The fact that this war game for the guys, I don't even know what to say, to be honest, because it looked like the heel were dominating the match, and I got to give props to one guy. One guy that I give props to that took a bump yesterday. That I said to myself, yo, he took that bump, and most wrestlers who take that bumps usually don't get up and whatnot. And that was Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker took a bump. I think they hit him with the Doomsday device, and he landed on his neck. And once he landed on his neck, I was like, wow, this guy, he's not getting up. And sure enough, he was walking around like nothing happened and whatnot. So, to me, I think they made Roman Reigns look bad last night. I mean, it looked like these guys. And first of all, in the beginning of this was something that just pissed me off. That's two things that pissed me off. The beginning, you have Braun Breaker and CM Punk in the ring. Mr. Dustin Rhodes, or Cody Rhodes, I don't know what Dustin Rhodes said. Cody Rhodes comes in and he elbows CM Punk to give the thing that feeling of, oh, these guys are not getting along, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, here we go. Right? Usually you don't do that in the beginning. You do that toward the middle or toward the end of the damn match. Not in the beginning, which led to nothing. Okay? The heels came in. It looked like the heels were, dominating most of the match. You know what I'm saying? Even Brock Lesnar came in, did his same bullshit. Suplex, F5, the same shit. Right? And at one point, when Roman came in and speared Brock and whatnot, he speared everybody because even Jey Uso hit his head and whatnot into the freaking thing. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the comments here. Justin says everything leading up to the finish in the men's World game was fine. The finish felt completely flat, and then the aftermath angle did nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying? And then he says, if this is the rare chance ends up actually being Saffron, this whole thing has reached a level of making no nonsense. Well, I don't think it's honestly, like I said, I don't think it's Seth Rollins. But getting back to what you just said, right? He was leading up to the finish for once. I mean, the fact that when just Roman Reigns had the brass knuckles in his hand, you know what I'm saying? He should have used it on all the heels. He wasn't. I mean, you had Jey Uso trying to tell him, look, hit him, hit him. I'm like, what? But let's talk about Jey Uso. There was another thing. This is why I will say I will never, ever again see another WWE War Games ever in my life. Because in the middle of a War Games, I saw Jey Uso doing this, doing that, and they started playing his theme. Are you fucking stupid? War Game is supposed to be a match where it's dangerous. You're not supposed to be having fun. You're supposed to be trying to survive the War Games for you and your team. Not fucking, let's run it back and play that stupid yeet shit. Okay? And then he goes on top of the cage and nobody tries to bring him down. Oh my God. This shit was stupid. And listen, War Game was always my favorite match. But see, it was my favorite match when they used to do it in NWA and WCW. Not with the way WWE is doing. Okay? You running someone's theme back in the middle of a fucking War Games? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Are you freaking serious? And then to make matters worse, it looks like the team is about to do a comeback. And then you see somebody with a black hoodie, face covered, comes down over the cage and curse stomps CM Punk. And WWE again playing, or Triple H tried to make things, oh, it's Seth Rollins. Get the fuck out of here. You couldn't do something better than that? You could have somebody come to the ring, curse stomp them, and then, you know what I'm saying? Then you take over your mask and reveal yourself as Austin Theory. But they didn't even do that because he left the cage. And another thing about the War Games, I noticed they put a new rule that if you leave the cage when the War Game starts, it's a forfeit. Since when? Why are we doing this? I saw Becky Lynch trying to get out the damn cage. And first of all, why there was no fence over the damn cage? Because that's the War Game, not the stupid shit they just put. That's that cheap shit. I'm telling you, they have cheapened the War Games. Okay? And I don't like to come in here and trash WWE, but this shit, War Game, was not good. Now, it's not really, look, Alex, it's not Seth, bro. Seth is hurt. Seth is not, they don't even know if he's gonna make it to WrestleMania. Because if it is Seth, it doesn't make no sense. Why will you have Seth pretend that he's hurt and lose the world title? Come on, let's be realistic here. Let's be realistic. It's not Seth. No, I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying that it doesn't make sense. Because if it is, then WWE, they're going to keep losing fans. People are going to be like, yo, this is stupid. I'm sure people were booing after the damn War Games. The people, 47,000, whatever it was, booing because the way the ending went. And then the ending, you hear, or you saw Roman go and help CM Punk up, give him a pound, but then he turns around and tells Cody, we will never team up again. If whoever didn't catch that, if you go back, you hear it. He said, we're not going to team up again. So it looks like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are going to happen again for the third time, most likely in WrestleMania. So in Vegas. So we're probably going to see Roman Reigns beat Cody Rhodes. His second reign has been horrible. It's boring. It's like there's no, kind of remind me when Omega had the IWGP belt in Japan. His run is not that good. And the fact that keep giving Drew McIntyre title matches is just ridiculous. So what just to wrap this up, what have we gotten out of all this? You know what I'm saying? WWE needs the final boss. But for what? You know what I'm saying? For what? They should have had the final boss after the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. He never showed up. So final boss, it don't matter. Because at the end of the day, again, like I said, it's not working right now. Because what storylines came out of this? We're probably going to have a Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And we're going to definitely get CM Punk versus Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker pinned CM Punk. So we most likely going to see, you know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to see Braun Breaker versus CM Punk either in WrestleMania, not WrestleMania, I'm sorry, Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber. Justin said, hell no, keep doing it as far away as possible. He just ruins everything he sticks his nose in. Listen, but at the same time, we don't need The Rock in anything right now. None of the storylines. You know what I'm saying? Triple H is doing a horrible job. Let's just be realistic. That's why I got up there and said the War Games in Triple H era. Because this shit was horrible. There's no way to put it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, what I give you is an honest review. It's not tribalism. And my boy Justin, my boy OPC, my boy Keith, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that when I come in here, it's not about tribalism. Because this shit would have been AEW, I would have chewed the asses up too. If it would have been New Japan, I would have chewed the asses up. MLW, NWA, TNA, any of them, they would have got chewed up. Because this is the truth. What we seeing right now, and I'm going to say this because every time I see the Riyadh season logo, which is a Saudi Arabia company, he's telling me and showing me that WWE is going to get sold by the Saudis. It's going to happen. Because right now what we're seeing as far as WWE concerned is they don't care if the fans are satisfied with the storylines. And right now, like I said, what came out of these storylines for the women's? Nothing. There's no new storylines out of that. It was a War Games. Now what? You know what I'm saying? AJ Lee. Do you want to see AJ Lee against Becky Lynch one-on-one? No one cares now because we've seen AJ pin Becky Lynch and made her submit at the War Games. So what's the point? There's no IC title on the line. That's number one. Number two, okay. Number two, when it comes to the men's War Game, I just gave you two situations that might happen. Roman Reigns going against either Roman Reigns winning the Rumble and getting a shot at Cody and whatnot, or Braun Breaker. I don't even think Braun Breaker needs to win the Royal Rumble because he already pinned CM Punk in the cage, and he might beat CM Punk at the Rumble and whatnot. Because in reality, let's be realistic. Why is CM Punk with this belt? Okay, there should have been a match between CM Punk and Braun Breaker a couple of months ago, or whatever it was, when he fought Jey Uso when he botched. You know what I'm saying? That should have happened. But WWE was worrying about, what was they worrying about? Oh, we're scared that the people are going to cheer, Braun Breaker. This is what you're worrying about? If you're still thinking about a heel versus you want people to boo and all that, stop. People don't do that no more. Those days with people like it, whoever you got, people who cheer the rule breakers. And Braun Breaker right now is the hottest commodity right now. And besides Dominic, he's the hottest commodity. Okay, and this is what we're gonna have. We're gonna have CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. We don't know if it's gonna be at the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber or WrestleMania. If it's WrestleMania, that's too long. That's almost 5 months. You know what I'm saying? Justin says definitely not looking forward to the possibility of a Roman and Cody Part 3. Well, hate to say it, Justin, but it is gonna happen because, like I said, I don't know if you saw it, but he told Cody we're never gonna team up again. You know what I'm saying? And something that Solomon Monster, I was listening to his podcast this morning. He said that um that Solomon Monster made us say that the team that was in the War Games this year was the Bloodline and CM Punk minus what's this fucking guy's name? Sami Zayn. Instead, it was Cody Rhodes. So they had almost the same team from last year in there again. So it makes you know what I'm saying. It's I don't know what to tell you. This is why I like watching AEW. AEW has its faults. AEW may not get the amount of people to watch their shows and whatnot, but they're more entertaining. That's you can say whatever you want about me. I'm a mark, whatever the hell you want to say. But the fact is, I gave you the honest truth. And I just gave you the honest truth and an honest review about this Survivor Series. Survivor Series this year was lame. Okay. And like this guy says, MJF, it was mid. It wasn't that great. I want to see what they're going to grade it. I definitely want to see what ESPN is going to grade it because every last time I think they were happy because they had a B for Crown Jewel and whatnot. I think it was a Crown Jewel. Yeah, it was Crown Jewel because WrestlePalooza they got a C. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, what this guy says, YouTube WWE internet fans are way too negative. They negative because they hate when guys like me speak out the truth. You're gonna have people who are loyal to WWE that no matter what WWE does, they're always gonna defend the company because they don't watch nothing else but WWE. They grew up on WWE, they don't watch New Japan, they don't watch CMML, they don't watch none of that. You know what I'm saying? And let them be. Because at the end of the day, they're the first one who like to attack people like me. And I gotta drop the signs on them. See, because the thing is that they don't understand is I've been watching wrestling since I was 5. I've seen WWE when Bruce and Martino days all the way to now. Okay. And that means watching other NWA, WCW, ECW, MLW, NWA, you name it. I've seen it all. Puerto Rico, World Wrestling Council. I've seen it all. So when people start telling me, "Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to wrestling," yes, I do, because I know. I may not be 100%. I may miss some. I may not, maybe probably say the wrong thing sometimes, but that's rarely. But with this, what I saw, it was again. I saw it with an open mind, hoping that they'll be going to a level of blood and guts to maybe a little higher than that. But it goes to show you that WWE will never, ever put those ladies in danger, supposedly, right? But yet you have Io Sky standing on top of a cage, okay, putting a garbage can on her and flipping from the top and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen in a situation like that. Thank God she never got hurt, but situations like that, it makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, the females from AEW did go balls out. Okay, they even go and color themselves. And people will say that I'm a mark because no, this is true. It just to show you the difference how WWE works and AEW works. AEW may not have a lot of fans that follow them. WWE does, but they leave those fans disappointed. So I guess that's it I have to say because in reality, like I said, at the end of the day, this show wasn't all that. You know, it could have been better. I think the match of the night was the John Cena and Dominic, even though there was so many interference. As crazy as it sounds, that was the best match of the night. You know what I'm saying? So at the end, it is what it is. So, but that is it for me today, guys. I want to thank everybody who's in the chat and whatnot. Thank you very much for supporting. As you guys can see and whatnot, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, of course, the X and whatnot, and follow me on the YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 500 to subscribe, 500 people. For the podcast, t-shirts, hats, and hoodie, go to tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. And we're also available on TikTok. And when I get your stuff, get your merchandise, get your apparel. I got hoodies, hats, whatnot. It's cold. It's getting cold out there. Whatever part of the country you guys are at, it's getting cold. So, get that hoodie. Get that Chokeslam Wrestling Report hoodie is on the website. Again, that's tcwr.veryinkpressive.com and whatnot. And let me know what you think. Also, guys, what else do I have here? That's about it. But I want to thank everybody who joined me today and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think. Leave me your comments and whatnot on the channel and whatnot. Let me know what you think and whatnot. And we'll see what happens now. That what's the next pay-per-view coming up? World's End. And that Continental Classic. Whoever didn't see that Okada versus Kyle Fletcher and didn't say that match was probably one of the matches of the year, something's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. Something's wrong with you. So shout out to my boy OPC. Shout out to my boy Justin. Shout out to my boy Keith. Shout out to Alex Alberto, G644. All these people who joined in. Thank you very much. Guys, I will see you guys very soon. And again, support the Chokeslam Wrestling Report and share it with your friend. Until then, peace.
Hit the like button and subscribe, bitch.